put these on. I gotta put these on. Oh man. I know. If I could just like turn this way, you can kind of sort of see it. Hi guys. Good to see you. I have another special guest here. I've got Hedwig. Hedwig is waiting. Hedwig's been waiting a while for me to read. So that's exactly what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to put Hedwig right in the... I wonder if I can like really get Hedwig in there. Oh, I could. Huh. Look at that. Maybe I take these off. Maybe I take these off. Get Hedwig in there for like all of time. What do you think? Do you think this works? I was having an issue with my stream. It's not like I have to like do some type of update for yeah, hold on just a second because I have to do this. And then you've got like good old Harry in the background. Yeah. Oh man, oh man. Okay. Let's review here. Maybe I'll do this. Put that over there. Put this over here. Give me 1 second. I kind of want to... You know what I mean? I want to get this nice. Give me a second. There you go. Something like this. I've got to look. I don't think this is like going to work very well. I tried. You see Harry in the background? I'm trying so hard here. I'm like going back and forth. Ooh, okay. It says the boy who lived. So it's like, I tried. All right, let's do a review. Okay. Review being 1 and 2, we learn of Muggles. Harry's magical. Harry was almost murdered, but it didn't work. Harry's parents were killed. Chapters 3 and 4, Harry's mistreated. Letters trying to get to Harry, but the Dursleys aren't allowing it, so they try to keep him from getting those letters. They take him to like this remote cabin. Hagrid knocks down the door to the cabin. Hagrid's really, really pissed off because they're not like sharing all that they should have with Harry. Happy birthday, Miro, by the way. Maybe we'll sing you a happy birthday song before the end. So then Harry needs to go to Gringotts to see that he's actually got a lot of money his parents left behind. Hagrid gets a mystery box from another vault. We don't know what it is yet. Then Harry goes to Diagon Alley. Shame on me for not putting that in caps. He gets his wand in particular, which was made from a phoenix's tail feather whose brother's was in the wand that hurt him. So, let me make this capital D here. I'm sure that's a capital A. Gringotts is fine. Okay. So, I say I start reading, and I got Hedwig. Oh my god, Hedwig. No. Okay. I'm going to get a crick in the neck. I'm going to get a crick in the neck. All right. Chapter 6 is where we're at. I'm going to start reading, and I'm going to try my best. If there is an ad, I'm going to stop the ad. So, well, I'm not going to stop the ad. I'm just going to wait. So, Chapter 6, The Journey from Platform 9 and 3/4. The journey from platform 9 and 3/4. Here we go. Harry's last month with the Dursleys wasn't fun. True, Dudley was now so scared of Harry he wouldn't stay in the same room, while Aunt Petunia and Uncle Vernon didn't shut Harry in his cupboard, they didn't force him to do anything or shout at him. In fact, they didn't speak to him at all. Half terrified, half furious, they acted as though any chair with Harry in it was empty. Although this was an improvement in many ways, it did become a bit depressing after a while. Poor Harry. You know, he can't win with these people. Harry kept to his room with his new owl. Oh, that's right, because the Dursleys changed him into to that empty room, not the empty room, the room that what's his name, Dudley was using. So now he's kind of got his own room. Harry kept to his room with his new owl for company. Oh, his new owl. I have him on my shoulder. He had decided to call her Hedwig, a name he had found in a history of magic. His school books were very interesting. He lay on his bed reading late into the night, Hedwig swooping in and out of the open window as she pleased. It was lucky that Aunt Petunia didn't come in to Hoover anymore. So Hedwig was lucky that Aunt Petunia didn't come into Hoover anymore, meaning vacuum, because Hedwig kept bringing back dead mice. Okay. Hedwig kept bringing back dead mice. Every night before he went to sleep, Harry ticked off another day on the piece of paper he had pinned to the wall, counting down to September the 1st. I bet he can't wait to get to Hogwarts, because I know I wouldn't be able to. Yeah, your mom, I'm sorry, I'm reading tonight. It's Thursday. On the last day of August, he thought he'd better speak to his aunt and uncle about getting to King's Cross Station next day. So he went down to the living room where they were watching a quiz show on television. He cleared his throat to let them know he was there, and Dudley screamed and ran from the room. Uncle Vernon? Uncle Vernon grunted to show he was listening. I need to be at King's Cross tomorrow to go to Hogwarts. Hey, Minty. Uncle Vernon grunted again. Would it be all right if you gave me a lift? Another grunt. Harry supposed that meant yes. Thank you. He was about to go back upstairs when Uncle Vernon actually spoke. Funny way to get to wizard school, the train. Magic carpets all got punctures, have they? Oh, okay. So he's saying, oh, it's funny way, like, why can't you just take a magic carpet? Why do you need to take the train? Harry didn't say anything. Where is this school anyway? I don't know, said Harry, realizing this was for the first time. He pulled the ticket Hagrid had given him out of his pocket. I just take the train from platform 9 3/4 at 11 o'clock. Okay. I'm going to wait, guys. I'm waiting to continue the reading for those of you that aren't subscribed. So I'm just going to wait for just a couple of minutes. I know. What's going on here? Sorry. What happened here? Okay. I had to fix that. Okay. The Boy Who Lived. Okay, now we can see it. A little bit better. Woo! All right, minute and 30. I'm waiting. I got Hedwig. Hedwig has joined me. You like it? Hi, Hedwig. How you doing? Brought to you by Ashiro. Hedwig has been brought to us by Ashiro. So I'm really excited. Just saying. Do I have my phone on me? Should I send like a picture to the Shiros? Let's see. I'm going to send a picture to the Shiros. Hold on. Camera. Flip it around. And I got Hedwig. Oh, God. Hold on just a second. My brother's laughing. I don't know what he's laughing at. All right. I've got Hedwig. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Hey, Galag. 30 seconds. Oh, man. 20 seconds. Hello, Galag. Good to see you. Woo, 10 seconds. 10 seconds. We are reading today. So hopefully you enjoy. We back, boys. We back. Exactly. Okay. Hello, Galag. Hello, everybody. This is the first book. I'm on chapter 6. And right here on screen, you can kind of see what chapter 5 was all about. We're about to go to Diagon Alley. He's talking to his Uncle Vernon right now because he needs a ride to King's Cross. And so he says he doesn't know, they don't know how to get there. So Harry's like, he realizes he doesn't know how to get there. He was like, I just take the train from platform 9 3/4 at 11 o'clock, he read. His aunt and uncle stared. Platform what? 9 3/4. Don't talk rubbish, said Uncle Vernon. There is no platform 9 3/4. It's on my ticket. Barking, said Uncle Vernon. Howling mad, the lot of 'em. You'll see. You just wait. All right, we'll take you to King's Cross. We're going up to London tomorrow anyway, or I wouldn't bother. Why are you going to London? Harry asked, trying to keep things friendly. Taking Dudley to hospital, growled Uncle Vernon. Got to have that ruddy tail removed before he goes to Smeltings. Oh my God, he still has that tail that Hagrid put on him. All right, moving on. Harry woke at 5 o'clock the next morning and was too excited and nervous to go back to sleep. He got up and pulled on his jeans because he didn't want to walk into the station in his wizard's robe. He changed on the train. He checked his Hogwarts list yet again to make sure he had everything he needed. Saw that Hedwig was shut safely in her cage. Hedwig, yeah, sorry. Did I call? Wait. Did I call? What is his name? Hagrid, right? I was right. Okay, so Hedwig, I was right. He needed. Saw that Hedwig was shut safely in her cage. Hedwig's on my shoulder right now, and then paced the room, waiting for the Dursleys to get up. 2 hours later, Harry's huge, heavy trunk had been loaded into the Dursleys' car. Aunt Petunia had talked Dudley into sitting next to Harry, and they had set off. They reached King's Cross at 10:30. Uncle Vernon dumped Harry's trunk onto the trolley and wheeled it into the station for him. Harry thought this was strangely kind until Uncle Vernon stopped dead, facing the platforms with a nasty grin on his face. Well, there you are, boy. Platform 9, platform 10. Your platform should be somewhere in the middle, but they don't seem to have built it yet, do they? Okay, so this platform seemingly doesn't exist. I think we all know otherwise, so... well, there you are, boy. Platform 9, platform 10. They haven't built it yet. Blah, blah, blah. He was right, of course. There was a big plastic number 9 over one platform, a big plastic number 10 over the next to it. And in the middle, nothing at all. Have a good term, said Uncle Vernon, with an even nastier smile. He left without another word. Harry turned and saw the Dursleys drive away. All three of them were laughing. Harry's mouth went rather dry. What on earth was he going to do? He was starting to attract a lot of funny looks. Because of Hedwig. He'd have to ask someone. He stopped a passing guard, but didn't dare mention platform 9 3/4. The guard had never heard of Hogwarts, and when Harry couldn't even tell him what part of the country it was in, he started to get annoyed, as though Harry was being stupid on purpose. Getting desperate, Harry asked for the train that left at 11 o'clock, but the guard said there wasn't one. In the end, the guard strode away, muttering about time wasters. Harry was now trying hard not to panic. According to the large clock over the arrivals board, he had 10 minutes left to get on the train to Hogwarts, and he had no idea how to do it. He was stranded in the middle of a station with a trunk he could hardly lift, a pocket full of wizard money, and a large owl. Hagrid must have forgotten to tell him something you had to do, like tap the third brick on the left to get it into Diagon Alley. He wondered if he should get out his wand and start tapping the ticket box between platforms 9 and 10. At that moment, a group of people passed just behind him, and he caught a few words of what they were saying. Packed with muggles, of course. Harry swung around. The speaker was a slump woman who was talking to 4 boys, all with flaming red hair. Each of them was pushing a trunk like Harry's in front of him. And they had an owl. Okay, so he's starting to see people that are like him, which is good. It's a good sign. Heart hammering, Harry pushed his trolley after them. They stopped, and so did he, just near enough to hear what they were saying. Now, what's the platform number? Said the boy's mother. 9 3/4, piped a small girl, also red-headed, who was holding her hand. Mom, can't I go? You're not old enough, Ginny. I guess that Ginny or Guinea? Uh-oh. Guinea sounds like a derogatory term. Ginny? I'm going to go with Ginny. I'm going with Ginny. J, not G. Okay, yeah, thank you, Minnow. I love you so much. You're amazing. Okay, it's Ginny. I just said, like... I just said it. Never mind, we're moving on. You're not old enough, Ginny. Now be quiet. All right, Percy. You go first. What looked like the oldest boy marched towards platforms 9 and 10. Harry watched. Is my Hedwig? Hedwig is dying. Okay. Hedwig, you gotta stay up there, buddy. What looked like the oldest boy marched towards platforms 9 and 10. Oh my God. I'm a mess today. What is going on? Harry watched, careful not to blink in case he missed it. But just as the boy reached the divide between the two platforms, a large crowd of tourists came swarming in front of him. And by the time the last rucksack had cleared away, the boy had vanished. Fred, you next, the plump woman said. I'm not Fred, I'm George, said the boy. Honestly, woman, call yourself a mother. Can't you tell I'm George? Sorry, George, dear. Only joking. I'm Fred, said the boy, and off he went. His twin called after him to hurry up, and he must have done. His twin called after him to hurry up, and he must have done because a second later he had gone. But how had he done it? Now the third brother was walking briskly towards the ticket barrier. He was almost there, and then, quite suddenly, he wasn't anywhere. There was nothing else for it. Excuse me, Harry said to the plump woman. Hello, dear, she said. First time at Hogwarts? Ron's new, too. She pointed at the introduction of Ron Weasley. These are the Weasleys, I'm taking it. Ron's new, too. She pointed at the last and youngest of her sons. He was tall, thin, and gangling, with freckles, big hands and feet, and long nose. Yes, Harry said. The thing is, I don't know how to get onto the platform, she said kindly. And Harry nodded. Not to worry, she said. All you have to do is walk straight at the barrier between platforms 9 and 10. Don't stop and don't be scared. You'll crash into it. That's very important. Best do it at a bit of a run if you're nervous. Go on. Go now before run. Okay, said Harry. He pushed his trolley around and stared at the barrier. It looked very solid. He started to walk towards it. People jostled him on their way to the platforms 9 and 10. Harry walked more quickly. He was going to smash right into that ticket box, and then he'd be in trouble. Leaning forward on his trolley, he broke into a heavy run. The barrier was coming nearer and nearer. He wouldn't be able to stop. The trolley was out of control. He was a foot away. He closed his eyes, ready for the crash. It didn't come. He kept on running. He opened his eyes. A scarlet steam engine was waiting next to a platform packed with people. A sign overhead said Hogwarts Express, 11 o'clock. Harry looked up behind him and saw a wrought iron archway where the ticket box had been, with the words Platform 9 3/4 on it. He'd done it. Smoke from the engine drifted over the heads of the chattering crowd, while cats of every color wound here and there between their legs. Owls hooted to each other in a disgruntled sort of way over the babble and the scraping of heavy trunks. The first few carriages were already packed with students, some hanging out of the window to talk to their families, some fighting over seats. Harry pushed his trolley off down the platform in search of an empty seat. He passed a round-faced boy who was saying, Gran, I've lost my toad again. Oh, Neville, he heard the old woman sigh. A boy with dreadlocks was surrounded by a small crowd. Give us a look, Lee. Go on. The boy lifted the lid of a box. This is cool how people are being introduced here. The boy lifted the lid of the box in his arms, and the people around him shrieked and yelled at something inside poked out a long, hairy leg. Harry passed on through the crowd until he found an empty compartment near the end of the train. He put Hedwig inside first, and then started to move and heave his trunk towards the train door. He tried to lift it up the steps, but he could hardly raise one end, and twice he dropped it painfully on his foot. Want a hand? It was one of the red-haired twins he'd followed through the ticket box. Yes, please, Harry panted. Oi, Fred, come here and help. With the twins' help, Harry's trunk was at last tucked away in the corner of the compartment. Thanks, said Harry, pushing his sweaty hair out of his eyes. What's that? Said one of the twins suddenly, pointing at Harry's lightning scar. Blimey, said the other twin. Are you... He is, said the first twin. Aren't you? He added to Harry. What? Said Harry. Harry Potter, chorused the twins. I like how they spoke together at the same time. Oh, him, said Harry. I mean, yes, I am. The two boys gawped at him, and Harry felt himself going red. Then, to his relief, a voice came floating in through the train's open door. Fred, George, are you there? Coming, Mum. With a last look at Harry, the twins hopped off the train. Harry sat down next to the window where, half hidden, he could watch the red-haired family on the platform and hear what they were saying. Their mother had just taken out her handkerchief. You know, it must be really sad for Harry, because he's never really gotten this type of support. So he's like seeing such a big family and such a loving family and a loving mother doing this. And so that's something to take in consideration here. So the mother says, Ron, you've got something on your nose. The youngest boy tried to jerk out of the way, but she grabbed him and began rubbing the end of his nose. Typical mom, typical mom. Mom, you're off. He wriggled free. Has Ickle Ronnie got something on his nosy? Said one of the twins. They're teasing. Shut up, said Ron. Where's Percy? Said their mother. He's coming now. The oldest boy came striding into sight. He had already changed into his billowing black Hogwarts robes, and Harry noticed the shiny red and gold badge on his chest with the letter P on it. Can't stay long, mother, he said. I'm up front. The prefects have got 2 compartments to themselves. Oh, are you a prefect, Percy? Said one of the twins, with an air of great surprise. You should have said something. We had no idea. Hang on, I think I remember him saying something about it, said the other twin. Once or twice, a minute, all summer. Oh, shut up, said Percy, the prefect. How come Percy gets new robes anyway? Said one of the twins. Because he's a prefect, said their mother fondly. All right, dear, well, have a good term. Send me an owl when you get there. She kissed Percy on the cheek and he left. Then she turned to the twins. Now, you two, this year you behave yourselves. If I get one more owl telling me you've blown up a toilet we've never blown up a toilet. Great idea, though. Thanks, Mom. It's not funny. And look after Ron. Don't worry. Ickle Ronikins is safe with us. Shut up, said Ron again. He was almost as tall as the twins already, and his nose was still pink where his mother had rubbed it. Hey, Mom, guess what? Guess who we just met on the train? Harry leaned back quickly so they couldn't see him looking. You know that black-haired boy who was near us in the station? Know who he is? Who? Harry Potter. Harry heard the little girl's voice. Oh, Mom, can I go on the train to see him? Mom, oh, please. You've already seen him, Ginny, and the poor boy isn't something you Google at in a zoo. Is he really, Fred? How do you know? Asked him. Saw a scar. It's really there, like lightning. Poor dear. No wonder he was alone. Poor dear. No wonder he was alone. I wondered. He was ever so polite when he asked how to get onto the platform. Never mind that. Do you think he remembers what you-know-who looks like? Their mother suddenly became very stern. She's going to protect him. I forbid you to ask him, Fred. And no, don't you dare. As though he needs reminding of that on his first day at school. All right, keep your hair on. A whistle sounded. Hurry up, their mother said. And the 3 boys clambered onto the train. They leaned out of the window for her to kiss them goodbye, and they leaned out of the window for her to kiss them goodbye, and their younger sister began to cry. Don't, Ginny. We'll send you loads of owls. We'll send you a Hogwarts toilet seat. George, only joking, Mom. The train began to move. Harry saw the boys' mother waving and their sister half laughing, half crying, running to keep up with the train until it gathered too much speed. Then she fell back and waved. Harry watched the girl and her mother disappear as the train rounded the corner. Houses flashed past the window. Harry felt a great leap of excitement. He didn't know what he was going to, but it had to be better than what he was leaving behind. The door of the compartment slid open and the youngest red-headed boy came in. Anyone sitting there? He asked, pointing at the seat opposite Harry. Everywhere else is full. Harry shook his head and the boy sat down. He glanced at Harry and then looked quickly out of the window, pretending he hadn't looked. Harry saw he still had a black mark on his nose. Hey, Ron, the twins were back. Listen, we're going down the middle of the train. Lee Jordan's got a giant tarantula down there. Right, mumbled Ron. Harry, said the other twin, did we introduce ourselves? Fred and George Weasley. And this is Ron, our brother. See you later, then. Bye, said Harry and Ron. The twins slid the compartment doors shut behind them. Are you really Harry Potter? Ron blurted out. Harry nodded. Oh, well, I thought it might be one of Fred and George's jokes, said Ron. And have you really got, he pointed at Harry's forehead. Harry pulled back his fringe to show the lightning scar. That's cute. I love how they're making friends. So that's where you know who... Yes, said Harry, but I can't remember it. Nothing? Said Ron eagerly. Well, I remember a lot of green light, but nothing else. Wow, said Ron. He sat and stared at Harry for a few moments. Then, as though he had suddenly realized what he was doing, he looked quickly out of the window again. Are all your family wizards? Asked Harry, who found Ron just as interesting as Ron found him. So I love how Ron finds him interesting, but Harry's... I know. I like the twins too, Miro. I think it's... I'm really enjoying this. This is cool. Yes, I think so, said Ron. I think Mom's got a second cousin who's an accountant, but we never talk about him. So you must know loads of magic already. The Weasleys were clearly one of those old wizarding families the pale boy in Diagon Alley had talked about. I heard you went to live with Muggles, said Ron. What are they like? Horrible. Well, not all of them. My aunt and uncle and cousin are, though. Wish I had three. I'd had three wizard brothers. 5, said Ron. For some reason, he was looking gloomy. I'm the 6th in the family to go to Hogwarts. You could say I've got a lot to live up to. Bill and Charlie have already left. Bill was head boy and Charlie was captain of Quidditch. Now Percy's a prefect. Fred and George mess around a lot, but they still get really good marks and everyone thinks they're really funny. Everyone expects me to do as well as the others. But if I do, it's no big deal because they did it first. You never get anything new either with 5 brothers. I've got Bill's old robes, Charlie's old wand, and Percy's old rat. Ron reached inside his jacket and pulled out a fat gray rat, which was asleep. His name's Scabbers, and he's useless. He hardly ever wakes up. Percy got an owl from my dad for being made a prefect, but they couldn't have... I mean, I got Scabbers instead. Ron's ears went pink. He seemed to think he said too much because he went back to staring out of the window. Harry didn't think there was anything wrong with not being able to afford an owl. After all, he never had any money in his life until a month ago, and he told Ron so, all about having to wear Dudley's old clothes and never getting proper birthday presents. This seemed to cheer Ron up. You know what's really cool about this part is the fact that they are relatable, and yet they've had 2 different upbringings. You've had, Ron, he's got a family, and they, obviously they're loving up to this point and whatnot. He's had things and all that, but just like Harry, he doesn't see, he's not rich, So he's getting all that Harry hasn't had, and yet he's not rich. So it's pretty cool how they're still relatable. Oh my God, this chapter. Holy Jesus, this chapter is huge. I don't think we're going to finish all this chapter. I have to finish by 8, unfortunately. This seemed to cheer Ron up, and until Hagrid told me, I didn't know anything about being a wizard or about my parents or Voldemort. Ron gasped. What? Said Harry. You said you know whose name, said Ron, sounding both shocked and impressed. I'd have thought you, of all people... I'm not trying to be brave or anything saying the name, said Harry. I just never knew you shouldn't. See what I mean? I've got loads to learn. I bet, he added, voicing for the first time something that had been worrying him a lot lately. I bet I'm the worst in the class. You won't be. There's loads of people who come from Muggle families, and they learn quick enough. While they had been talking, the train had carried them out of London. Now they were speeding past fields full of cows and sheep. They were quiet for a time, watching the fields and the lanes flick past. Around 12:30, there was a great clattering outside in the corridor, and a smiling, dimpled woman slid back in a door and said, Anything off the trolley, dears? Harry, who hadn't had any breakfast, leaped to his feet, but Ron's ears went pink again, and he muttered that he'd brought sandwiches. Harry went out into the corridor. He had never had any money for sweets with the Dursleys, and now that he had pockets rattling with gold and silver, he was ready to buy as many Mars bars as he could carry. But the woman didn't have Mars bars. What she did have were Birdie Bots, every flavor beans, Droobles, best blowing gum. I love all these new types of food here. Chocolate frogs, chocolate frogs, pumpkin pastries, cauldron cakes, licorice wands, and a number of other strange things Harry had never seen in his life. Not wanting to miss anything, he got some of everything and paid the woman 11 silver sickles and 7 bronze nuts. Ron stared as Harry brought it all back into the compartment and tipped it onto an empty seat. Hungry, are you? Starving, said Harry, taking a large bite of a pumpkin pasty, excuse me. Ron had taken out a slumpy package and unwrapped it. There were 4 sandwiches in there. He pulled one of them apart and said, "She always forgets I don't like corned beef." Swap you for one of these, said Harry, holding up a pasty. Go on. You don't want this? It's all dry. You don't want this. It's all dry, said Ron. She hasn't gotten much time, he added quickly, with 5 of us. Go on, have a pasty, said Harry, who had never had anything to share before, or indeed anyone to share it with. It was nice. It was a nice feeling sitting there with Ron eating their way through all the Harry's pasties and cakes. The sandwiches lay forgotten. That's cute. That's really cute. I love how they're becoming friends. What are these? Harry asked Ron, holding up a pack of chocolate frogs. They're not really frogs, are they? He was starting to feel that nothing would surprise him. No, said Ron. But see what that card is? I'm missing a grippa. I'm missing a grippa? What? Oh, of course you wouldn't know. Chocolate frogs have cards inside them, to collect. Famous witches and wizards. Famous wizards and wizards. I've got about 500, but I haven't got Agrippa or Ptolemy. Harry unwrapped his chocolate frog and picked up the card. It showed a man's face. He wore half-moon glasses and a long, crooked nose and flowing silver hair, beard, and mustache. Underneath the picture was the name Albus Dumbledore. So this is a Dumbledore, said Harry. Don't tell me you've never heard of Dumbledore, said Ron. Can I have a frog? I might get Agrippa. Thanks. Harry turned over his card and read. So it says it has like a writing of, that's cute. I love how you're into this. It says, Albus Dumbledore, currently headmaster of Hogwarts, considered by many the greatest wizard of modern times. Professor Dumbledore is particularly famous for his defeat of the Dark Wizard Grindelwald in 1945, for the discovery of the 12 uses of dragon's blood, and his work on alchemy with his partner, Nicholas Flamel. Professor Dumbledore enjoys chamber music and 10-pin bowling. It's nice. I like it. That's what it says. It was like a picture of the card type of thing. Okay, I've got Hedwig is still with me here. Harry turned the card back over and saw to his astonishment that Dumbledore's face had disappeared. He's gone. Well, you can't expect him to hang around all day, said Ron. He'll be back. No, I've got Morgana again, and I've got about 6 of her. Do you want it? You can start collecting. Ron's eyes strayed to the pile of chocolate frogs waiting to be unwrapped. Help yourself, said Harry. But in, the Muggle world, people just stay put in photos. So Harry's very surprised that people are actually moving in photos. Do they? They don't move at all? Ron sounded amazed. Weird. Harry stared as Dumbledore sidled back into the picture on his card and gave him a small smile. Ron was more interested in eating the frogs than looking at the famous witches and wizards cards, but Harry couldn't keep his eyes off them. Soon he had not only Dumbledore and Morgana, but Hengist of Woodcroft. I hope I'm getting this right. Alberic Grunion, Cersei. I'm hoping it's Cersei. Paracelsus. And Merlin. He finally tore his eyes away from the Druidess Cleodna, oh my God, who was scratching her nose to open a bag of Bertle Bott's every flavor beans. You want to be careful with those, Ron warned Harry. When they say every flavor, they mean every flavor. You get all the ordinary ones like chocolate and peppermint and marmalade, but then you get spinach and liver and tripe. George reckons he had a bogey flavored one once. Ron picked up a green bean, looked at it carefully, and bit into a corner. See? Sprouts. I love sprouts. I actually really do like sprouts. See, I know I've got Hedwig on my shoulder this time, so I'm glad you're happy. I've got Hedwig. Thank you, Shiro. Ron picked a green bean, blah, blah, blah. He was disgusted. They had a good time eating the every flavor beans. Harry got toast, coconut, baked beans, strawberry, curry, grass. I love curry. Oh my God, curry is it's one of my favorite spices. Grass, coffee, sardine. I actually like sardines too, but with things, not really alone. They're very salty. And was even brave enough to nibble the end off a funny gray one Ron wouldn't touch. which turned out to be Pepper. The countryside now flying past the window was becoming wilder. The neat fields had gone. Now there were woods, twisting rivers, and dark green hills. There was a knock on the door of their compartment, and the round-faced boy Harry had passed on platform 9 3/4. Okay, so Harry passed a round-faced boy on the platform 9 3/4, and he came in. He looked tearful. Sorry, he said, but have you seen a toad at all? When they shook their heads, he wailed, I've lost him. He keeps getting away from me. My dog just barked, and I don't know why. He'll turn up, said Harry. Give me a second here. He'll turn up, said Harry. Where is my... Give me 1 second, guys. My Atlas doesn't usually bark. Why are you barking? Oh my God, that's so fun. Hey, Alex, I knew you were here because of him. Oh, actually, I'm in the middle of reading on the stream, but I'll end the stream. Shh, stop. Right now. I'm reading Harry Potter. I'll be right out. Oh my God. Okay. All right. My babies. You're going to hate me, but I am going to finish this page. Let me see what I have here. And then I'm going to continue chapter 6. I may just do this Saturday. Miro, what do you think? Do you think Saturday would be a good time to stream? Because I know you're following along. Yeah. And then maybe Saturday I'll go like maybe a couple hours or something and do an actual couple of chapters. But I want to make sure everybody will be here who's like following along and stuff like that. I know it's a short stream tonight, but that's on me. So let me just continue reading here. Yes, the boy said miserably. Well, if you see him, he left. Don't know why he's so bothered, said Ron. If I'd brought a toad, I'd lose it as quick as I could. Mind you, I brought Scabbers, so I can't talk. The rat was still snoozing on Ron's lap. He might have died, and you wouldn't know the difference, said Ron in disgust. I tried to turn him yellow yesterday to make him more interesting, but the spell didn't work. I'll show you. Look. Okay, so now I am going to stop there. He rummaged around in his trunk. I will have the update for you guys. And unfortunately, I kind of got to get going. But, wow. Oh, you subbed to Shiro. Funny Fuzz. Who's Funny Fuzz? Fortifies community. Who's Funny Fuzz? I don't know who Funny Fuzz is, but that's like really, really... Who's gifting subs? Shiro, you're now subscribed, meaning you don't get any ads, which is really cool. But I'm gonna be leaving midstream. I'm off to do something else, and I feel bad too. But you guys are good. I know that's like fantastic. But all these Funny Fuzz, who's Funny Fuzz? I don't know who's doing this. Gifting 2 tier 1 subs to Fortify's community. They've a total of 2 in the channel. Who is this? Huh. Okay, well, I don't know who that is, but I'm following them now. Okay, well, I love you all. Hug someone you love. Really, really nice. Thank you so much, Funny Fuzz. I have no idea who you are. I'm hoping to find out. That's very sweet of you. My God. 2 no less. I will be back. I will keep you updated. I plan on doing a reading Friday then, and I'll read a couple of chapters. I won't stop mid-chapter. Thank you all so much for your understanding. Love you all. Have a good day, and hug someone you love.